Alright guys, in continuation to the previous video that I uploaded, that was you see the very basics of coordination chemistry, right? So there we have discussed what is a coordination compounds, what are coordination compounds, how are the complexes, and with what type of bonds they are connected, right? Or they are linked. And if I remember the last, we had also discussed the basic difference between the common salt and complexes. So today we'll move on to some new terms, new topics rather. So this term is the next that I'm going to explain now is nothing new, but we have already discussed it in this previous video, but we just did not discuss that this is the term given to them, right? So the next topic here today is your ligands. Alright, so suppose if I am taking a example of a complex, if I take an example, suppose copper, and if it is surrounded by some ions or neutral molecules that can donate a pair of electrons to the central metal ion, right? So suppose neutral molecules, ammonia I am taking here, and ions, let me take chlorine, right? Cl minus. So suppose this is your whole coordination compound or the coordination complex, and here we can see clearly that there are 3 ions and there are 3 neutral molecules that donates a pair of electron each to the central metal ion. So ligands are nothing but this ions or the neutral molecules only. So now you know that the thing we had already discussed earlier, that is the ones that can donate a pair of electrons to the central metal ion are your ligands basically, right? So now you see, we all know what is Lewis acid and Lewis base, right? Lewis acid is the ones that can accept a pair of electrons, and Lewis bases are that can donate a pair of electrons. So if I take this complex as an example, and we can clearly say that the central metal ion here will act as a Lewis acid and the ligands will act as Lewis bases, because obviously they can donate a pair of electrons, right? So this ligands can be very simple like Cl minus, or some small molecules like, you know, ammonia, water, and sometimes it can be some large molecules also. For example, ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine. And the structure of ethylene diamine is your NH2, NH2, right? So here the 2 donor atoms are your nitrogen. Okay, so this much is clear. So one more thing guys, the ligands that donate a pair of electrons to the central metal ion, most of the ligands that donate, the donating atom or the donor atom will mostly be either your nitrogen or oxygen in most of the cases. As you can see in ethylene diamine also the donor atom is a nitrogen, similarly in water it is oxygen, in ammonia it is nitrogen, right? So mostly you can see the donor atoms to be either nitrogen or oxygen. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is denticity and chelation, right? Where is the duster? So the next topic that I'm going to discuss is your denticity and chelating ligand. I think the marker isn't working, let me change it. So the next is the denticity and chelating ligand or chelation, right? So you see denticity, from the term denticity we can know the word dent. The term dent means your teeth. Basically it is given to the ligands that can donate a pair of electrons, right? So teeth, like suppose in this example you can see the donor atom is nitrogen. So here only one atom is donating, right, to the central metal ion. So the donation is basically termed as like by teeth we can, with the help of teeth we can bite something, right? Similarly, so here they are saying teeth. So if it is ammonia, that is only one donor atom, so it can be termed as your unidentate or monodentate, right? Means unidentate or monodentate. That means it is biting the central metal ion through only one teeth or one tooth rather. So that's why the term denticity. Dent means tooth or teeth, right? So here it is, since the donor atom of the ligand is on a single atom, that is your nitrogen. So here it can be called, or it is an example of a unidentate or monodentate ligand. Similarly, for bidentate ligand, bidentate means where the number of donor atoms will be 2. The one that I just rubbed it now, that is your EN, ethylene diamine. Here the number of donor atoms is 2, right? The 2 nitrogens. So these 2 nitrogens can bind the central metal ion, therefore the denticity is 2, and it is a bidentate ligand. Similarly, there is tridentate ligand, tetradentate ligand, and so on, right? So, but after the monodentate or unidentate, the bidentate, tridentate, all this, when they have to coordinate with the central metal ion, they usually form a 5-membered or a 6-membered ring, right? In order to donate, like they will make themselves in a form of a structure that is either a 5-membered or a 6-membered. Now, like if I have to show that this EN is coordinating with the cobalt, then you see how it can coordinate. So the 2 nitrogen atoms, right? CH2, CH2 and NH2. So you can see clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5-membered ring, a 5-membered ring is generated, right? So therefore, this kind of ligand that usually, it usually makes us, it usually forces us or to make a 5-membered ring or a 6-membered ring is your bidentate chelating ligand, and this is known as a chelate ring, right? And this whole, this whole property is known as a chelation. I hope this much is clear to you all. And now let's move on to the next topic. Yeah, before that we'll discuss hexadentate ligand, right? I hope that much was clear to you all. Now the next thing that we are going to discuss, you see, just now we have discussed about the bidentate ligands, right? Bidentate means when the donor atom present is 2 in number. Similarly, tridentate means there has to be 3 donor atoms present in the ligand that will donate to the central metal ion. Similarly, tetradentate, like that. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the hexadentate ligand, right? Hexadentate ligand. Hexadentate ligand. So here, by the name, you can just know that the number of donor atoms here will be 6 in number, right? 6 in number. So a very popular and a very common example that I am going to take here is your EDTA. That is your ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Here the number of donor atoms will be 6. There will be 4 oxygen atoms that will donate, and there will also be 2 nitrogen atoms that are going to donate, right? So let me show you the structure. So the structure is you can clearly see there are 2 nitrogen atoms that can donate to the central metal ion, and similarly there are 4 oxygen atoms. So that's why I have discussed this hexadentate ligand, because it is one of the very important examples when we are going to discuss in coordination compounds. It's a very important ligand, right? EDTA. So now the next topic that we are going to discuss is your ambidentate ligand, and yeah. Ambidentate ligand. So ambidentate ligands are nothing but these are the unidentate or the monodentate ligands only, but having 2 different donor atoms, right? In that particular ligand you will find such donor atoms. There are 2 donor atoms, but at one time only 1 donor atom can attack or can coordinate with the central metal ion. For example, you see NO2 or CN. So these are the ligands which can donate through 2 donor atoms. That is, here nitrogen and oxygen both can donate. Here carbon and nitrogen both can donate. So, for example, suppose if I show you the complex Not the complex exactly, but if I show you, this is the metal if nitrogen is donating, right? So this time the nitrogen is donating to the central metal ion, or else this can happen like O, and here this time oxygen is donating. So we can write it like nitrito N. Then we'll understand that the N is the coordinating site or the coordinating atom that is coordinating to the central metal ion. Similarly, nitrito O means oxygen is the coordinating atom or the donor atom, right? Similarly, cyanato and similarly there is a thiocyanato and isothiocyanato, and right. So if it is donating through sulfur, then it is your thiocyanato, and if it is donating through nitrogen, then it is your isothiocyanate, right? So I hope this much is clear to you all. Let's meet tomorrow with some other topics or the other like we are going into the depth of coordination chemistry, right? These were just the basics, and I hope this much is clear, and